Hello and welcome to Star Trek. I'm Rohit Khildani. Today my guests are Sidharth and Parineeti, two good-looking people in Bollywood. Thank you for giving me time.
Me also?
Both of you. Thank you. How have you been, both of you?
Very well. How are you?
Good, very well. So, my first question is, to both of you, what was your first impression about each other when you saw each other on screen, when you all saw films
on screen?
Yeah.
Oh.
On screen?
Yeah.
You first? You go first.
Yeah.
You go first.
I saw Ricky Bell, this mad Punjabi girl, talking like talking a lot like how North Indian girls are actually. And then after that, her actual proper film was Ishaq Zadeh, which I saw again.
Is that how you are in real life as well? Your lingo?
Aggressive?
No, not aggressive.
My lingo?
Entertaining,
Yeah, entertaining. Yeah.
No, my lingo is not really like that actually. In that, I just kind of, he and Manish picked it up. So it became very interesting to play. But no, I'm not like that in life at all.
Okay. So your first impression when you saw him on the screen?
Oh, like any other girl, I was like, wow, this is the most beautiful boy I've ever seen. I remember I had seen Student at Varun and Alia's screening. I got to understand how he talks, how he is as a person, and of course, completely was very friendly with him after that.
Right. Tell me, if two people who don't know each other, when you're on the sets, first day, you're told you all will work together. What is the first day like?
First day normally happens in rehearsals actually, behind the cameras or off cameras. All directors want their actors, co-stars to have a certain amount of bonding and chemistry or easiness, so that we don't feel uncomfortable doing certain scenes. So our first day was in our same usual, the rehearsal, doing it at a director's office, trying to do a scene from the film, trying to figure out, our own characters, what pitch to take, what tones to take. But I think in our case, as you see, the easiness was there from the first day.
But tell me honestly, how's first day? Does everyone try to put their best foot forward? How's
No, actually, everybody
No, not at all.
tries to do very little to figure out what we should do. Yes, lesser or more, and it's more to get to know that person actually.
Yeah.
Us being from similar backgrounds, being from Punjabi and up north helps. Us being, I think she being very regular and not carrying the bag and baggage of being an actress or the work that one does, which even I appreciate a lot. I think it's very professional. It's like a job we do, and it's our job to rehearse, it's our job to come and do all these things. So I think that really helps, that mentality helps, that kind of thing it matches, similar tuning. Otherwise, no awkwardness, I think, no.
No, I think it's very important when you don't know each other at all, you should be comfortable physically with each other. You have to romance each other. You should be comfortable coming close to each other. You should be comfortable. Yeah, it should never look awkward. For that, there needs to be a friendship. Not always. Sometimes actors don't get along, but they have beautiful chemistry. But there has to be comfort. I think comfort has to be there with each other, which I think very rarely comes with strangers. So then we knew each other for so many days that it became okay. So then you're not afraid of holding his hand, or you're not afraid of touching him, or you're not afraid of romancing, or you're not afraid of hitting him if you need to. In the scene, then you can do. You never have to be conscious. You think less, basically. Yeah.
Okay. You both come from completely different backgrounds. Sidharth, I want to ask you first. Would it be different? Would it be any different for you if you would be from a film family, or would have someone?
I'm not from a film family.
I know you're not. I'm coming to you, but yeah.
Will it be different? I don't know. I think my personality would have been different. I think I would be far more comfortable. I think SOTY, I was not happy with the performance that I gave. There was so much to learn at that scale, that the scale was so big, there was so much in awe of everything, big director, big set.
Really? Why were you not happy with your performance?
I think I could be far more comfortable. I think. I think you'll also, I don't know, I hope you see the difference. But you'll see the difference over these next two films that are going to come this year. Because nothing beats experience, nothing beats spending
obviously,
more
it's your first one, so naturally.
Correct, maybe in that sense also, but also I think because of not being from that industry, the awareness nahi hoti hai, you don't know the do's and don'ts, and you don't know how the process goes, or what people say, what they really mean, or how to deal with people. I think that would have been better. I would have been far more relaxed about everything else and be concentrating more on what I'm doing in front of the camera.
Would you enjoy filmy parties then?
Then I would have enjoyed filmy parties. Then मेरा घर होता है. मैं लोगों को invite करता, but throw filmy parties कि आओ मेरे घर party करते हैं, मेरे mom dad बुला रहे हैं. ऐसा होता था.
Okay, you're right. You're not from a film family, but if you didn't have anyone from Bollywood in your, be it cousin, be it anyone, Would it be different because now there's always a comparison? Is that pressure at all?
Actually, no. In fact,
Or does that help?
No, actually, see, I got my all the films that I've got are not because of her. I'm almost like anybody else. I'm almost like him, where I've not had a background because I never stayed in her house. I was never with her. I was never seen by the industry before I was seen in my first film.
Right.
So I don't think it would be. I think it would be different if I was already known. If I was already known as अरे ये प्रियंका की एक छोटी बहन है, whatever. क्योंकि फिर ज़्यादा comfort होता है, आपने हमें बचपन से देखा हुआ होता है, हम आपके सामने पैदा होते हैं.
But do you think comparisons are a bit unfair?
No. Why shouldn't two actors be compared? Why not? We are paying money to see your film, so why I have the right to say I like you better than so and so. Of course, comparisons should happen. That's my opinion. And if my cousin is there, you're bound to say, "Arey, Priyanka does this and Parineeti does this." I find it only fair. I only hope that jitni tareef uski hoti hai, however much you say Priyanka is a great actress, I want people to say that about me also.
Okay, lovely. Okay, coming to your movie now, are romantic comedies easier than other movies?
No, I think they're tougher than other films because everybody knows most of the time how it ends, and you keep guessing it. It's just how we execute it is the trick, and how new can we make the journey of these two characters ending up in the end. So romantic stories are also tough to portray different. Everybody says our film is different, so are we. Everybody says these characters are different, so are we. So it's very tough. You have to just go through a romantic film, and there's certain times you don't have reasons why you like them, but you like them because of the chemistry, you like them because of the writing, you like them because of the locations and costumes. So I guess it's tough because there's not much of mystery or intrigue level in a romantic film. You know how it's eventually going to end up.
What do you think? You think romantic comedies are easy?
Yes and no. I mean, different roles can be more difficult to play. I know that I had a tough time playing Zoya in Ishaqzade because it was an aggressive role. Different roles can be difficult, but rom-coms are also not easy because you're relying solely on chemistry, nothing else.
Different rom-coms is tough. Like to do something new in rom-com is tough.
For the makers, for the actors, I think if I'm not romancing him well enough, or he's not romancing me well enough, or there is not a great chemistry between us, that cannot be a good love story, right?
Do you think experimenting is easy, or do you think you're at a stage where taking risks would be like a big deal before signing a movie?
I think it's very important to try different things. Only for the sole reason that you are performing for the audience, you're making films for the audience, and they should never have a chance to get bored of you. For your own growth as an actor, it's very important for you to try different things. To keep the audiences happy, it's very important. For directors and producers, the makers, to see your very talent is important. So I think there's no reason for you to repeat the same thing twice.
Right, but at some point, don't you feel scared that let's do this film just because it's a safe one?
It might be safe for me to play, but I don't know if the audience will like it.
There's no safe formula. I don't think so. Anybody knows a safe film or which is less risky. Today's day and age, there are films which are bombing. Even rom-coms are bombing. So if you're doing a film which is such a generic film, which is like a rom-com, two people getting together, is a film being made a million times. Right. So it's a risk in itself.
Okay, so for actors like both of you, what is the biggest fear?
Biggest fear as an actor? Well, I think making wrong choices is the day. I think the day you know that your instinct didn't work, or the day you find out, oh shit, I believed in this so strongly, but eventually when it came out on that Friday, it was so wrong. And I think that's the scary day for me, at least, that I would feel that my instincts are no longer correct, or what direction my instincts were going on were totally wrong. Because that would throw me off. Because then I would have nobody else, and I'd only be waiting for people to tell me, "Yaar, achhi ki buri hai, sir, main karu ki na karu? Do you think is that?" Because then I would not judge. I would not trust my own judgment. I think the day an actor does not trust his own judgment, I think he's in trouble.
Okay, what do you think?
My biggest fear would be failing to impress the audience. I think because my career will end the day they get bored of me. My career will end the day somebody doesn't buy a ticket. For my film, I can keep acting for however long I want. In fact, the day they stop buying my tickets, people will not even cast me in their next films. So there will be an absolute stoppage to my work. So that is very scary, because I'll keep working hard. I'll try and look as good as I can, and I'll try and do the things that I know how to do. But if they don't want to see me, then what? That's the end.
Well, anyway, we are far from all that. So let's come to your film. You know, you play a middle class guy. Tell us about your character.
I'm playing a boy called Nikhil Bardwaj. He's like how you have a slightly loser kind of boy in the family, who's not not so successful. He's running an unsuccessful company, event management company. His parents pester him to make a certain amount of money. They don't really think highly of him. You know, he's not the person to take charge and do stuff, even though he thinks he can. So it's not a typical role, and you know, having all these wrongs, he's still very correct and very sincere and very sweet. Like he's got good upbringing and culture. So at the same time, you know, he's very sentimental and respectful. He won't really harm anybody to do anything wrong. So how he interacts with her character while he's trying to make his own career and make his own decisions is his point of view.
So let's come to her character. Yeah.
My character actually is quite a quirky girl. She's basically a scientist, but she's a little mad. When I mean mad, she's actually not normal. And you'll find out in the film why she's like this, why she behaves like this. Her eyes are always wide open. She talks with her tongue out. She's always restless. She's a scientist, you know, so she's a genius of sorts. So obviously that makes you a little quirky. And this guy actually becomes curious about the person that she is. And he's such a normal element in her life that she becomes curious about him. And that's how our story starts. But quite an interesting character to play, actually. Very difficult to play it also, because you can easily overact, you can easily go overboard. But that was what we had to keep in check.
Sidharth, what is Shake It Like Shami?
Shake It Like Shami is my character's attempt actually to pataw this girl who's you know a very the popular one, the hot chick in the party, and she's dressed up like a heroine. So my friend tells me, you know, sir, isko patane ke liye aapko hero banna padega. So that's my not so cool character's attempt to be cool and shake it like Shami just so that I can impress a girl. And it's not a tribute exactly to Shami Kapoor, you know, he's a great legend and his styles are amazing and he's got immense amount of charm and charisma, which, you know, it'll take me years to probably achieve. So it's just, it's a lyrical use that we use, shake it like Shami, to impress a girl.
Did he impress you? Did he shake it like Shami?
In life or in the film?
In the film.
In the film, of course, it's our love story. So yes, I am impressed by him. But I'm not in that song.
You're not in that song. Okay. Tell me, how do you, both of you, deal with gossip? You know, we live in times where...
We involve ourselves in it.
We live in times when you all go for 3 cups of coffee to 3 different places. It will be written about that you all are together, you all are seeing each other. How do you deal with that?
Oh, it's not the coolest thing to happen, because 2 years ago we used to go out with whoever we wanted to go and not be written about. Yeah, because sometimes you go out with a person who you're not seeing and you're yet written about it like that. So it's a little tricky. But it also means that you're now an actor. It means that somebody is interested in writing about you, so it's cool. But it's not the greatest thing. It's not a cool thing to read about yourself, especially if it's untrue.
If it's untrue, when you read it, what is the first reaction?
What the?
Yeah, it can be odd. And it's an odd thing actually.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's something that should, I mean, it's not correct at times. Sometimes it's offensive, sometimes it's irritating, sometimes
it's just degrading.
But I guess we
sometimes.
all tend to have learned to ignore it actually, because eventually I've realized if your films are doing well, if your Fridays are well and people like you on the big screen, that, you know, they can't really affect your off-screen persona or off-screen thing just by gossip.
Okay, one question to both of you. Before endorsing a product, what would be your priority? What would you think?
For me, if it's a really great product, a brand that I know, a brand that I have used myself, and what they require of me. That's it.
Yeah, a lot of things. I think what the brand is all about, what it represents, something which is not offensive, something which is used, and it's a happy thing. It's a correct thing that we're going for. Something which doesn't bring us into get us into more gossip or negative stuff. But I think on the bigger front, something which is credible, something which is interesting and nice. You know, we all want to endorse that.
Cool. So after this will be for you will be Dawat-e-Ishq and Kill Dil.
Yes, The next release after this will be Dawat-e-Ishq in May and Kill Dil in September. But I'm still shooting Dawat-e-Ishq and I'm yet to start Kill Dil.
Right.
Busy times ahead of me.
I know, expectations from you are a lot. People, we have often seen magazines compare your energy levels to Kajol. Does all this add pressure? Or it's just great?
No, there's no pressure. Because the person that I am, I would have worked hard anyway. Right. It's very flattering. It's very humbling, is what I would like to say.
Right. Tell me, what do you think?
About her being compared to Kajol? Great.
No, expectations. When expectations are sky high, from you also, everybody talks about that you're the most good-looking guy. So expectations are obviously sky high when they go and buy your tickets.
Yeah, of course. I think you feel the pressure in your second film. But what I'm looking out for is no longer any comments on my looks and hopefully acting skills.
I think we need to go for a beauty pageant now.
But that's
enough.
Exactly. All good-looking actors face that.
Exactly. I think in India it's like a downer actually, because people feel that just because if you look a certain way, you're only there for that. And I think it's unfair, and hopefully I'll prove it wrong in this year with two films, and let's see.
Of course you will. Great, best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you.